I don't want to do shit today. Because today, life is pretty fucking windy. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I have to do it anyway. Because life absolutely does not give a fuck. And I'm making this video because somehow, Witch Talk has managed to make making moon water difficult. So I'm going to make the most motherfucking comprehensive video about moon water that exists. Okay? So let's go. The absolute easiest way to make moon water is to throw your bottled water out in the yard at night during a full moon. That's the easiest way. Okay? However, most of us have a cool aesthetic bottle that we put our moon water in to set it out. Okay? But you don't have to. The moon cleanses and supercharges the water. Okay? Do I have a resource for that? No. It's just one of those things that's always been in witchcraft. So I don't have a resource for that or why it does what it does. Okay? What can you use moon water for? First, I want to be clear. If you are setting out drinking water or setting out moon water for you to drink, do not put crystals in it. Because y'all don't know which ones can go in water and which ones can't. So just skip that part. It's not necessary. Let's just skip it. Now, if you want to make moon water to add different crystals in it to make it a particular type of moon water, that's fine, right? So you can put some rose quartz in the jug you're going to put out for moon water, and you can pour that into your baths when you're doing self-love baths. You can add plain moon water. You can water your plants with it. You can use it in your bath. Spell work. You can add it to your laundry. Do it on the rinse cycle. You can use it like with your floor wash when you want to clean the house. Or you can use it when you're making your witchy Febreze, which I still haven't made a video for because I'm a slacker. You can freeze it into ice cubes if you want to add it to your regular beverages. Get creative. Get creative with it. Get jiggy with it. But here's the thing. The full moon is not the only time you can make moon water. You can make moon water to tailor to each phase of the moon and what it represents. So if you put your water out during the new moon, then that moon water is going to be for anything like new beginnings or to hide things so they cannot be seen by the light. If you put your water out during the waxing crescent moon, you can use that moon water in any kind of spell or anything that where something needs to grow, such as like you want your money to grow. Location change. If you make your moon water during the first quarter moon, you can use that for decision making. If you put water out during a waxing gibbous moon, this phase is for any kind of refinement in your decisions. So let me explain that in English. This is when you want to cross your T's and dot your I's and double check things like an essay that you're fixing to turn in for an exam. Go over your itemized bill of your medical expense again before you pay it to catch for mistakes. Next is the full moon, which is what this entire thing was about. But I also need y'all to know that full moon water can be used to expose someone. Next up is the waning gibbous moon. What is in my eye? Oh, waning gibbous is in regards to being thankful or grateful. And so this is a good time to put out different things on your altars if you have them. Doesn't matter which kind it is. You know, spruce them up a little. Be like, yo, thanks for helping me out with all this bullshit in my life. Yeah. Or thankful spells or any of that good. Then we have the third quarter moon. This moon is for forgiveness, but only if you want to forgive. Let me remind you, forgiveness is a Christian tenet. So if you don't need to forgive to feel better, then don't worry about forgiving, because I sleep fine at night. But also don't forget that you can use this time to forgive yourself. I don't know why I didn't take a waning crescent moon screenshot from the other site. And also, I don't know what that other site was. So whatever, here we go. Waning crescent moon is when you let go of shit that's out of your control. No, you can't control that person. You can't control random shit that happens to you. Let it go. Let it go, Musa. Now, everything that I just told you about moon water can also be done with oils. Never forget to put your oils out there, because oils can be way more useful when making witchcraft products for yourself and for others. Different oils have different correlations. Wait, Witchfoot, how do I find out about which oils have which correlations? You can find them in this really good book. I can't remember what it's called. What is it called? Oh, yeah! Spellcasting Companion for Physical Witchcraft, an A to Z guide of magical ingredients. Available on Amazon right now. Or you can just go to my profile and go over on my playlist right there to Witch Education. The name of the video is The Proper Way to Make Spell Oils with correlations on the addendums. That's what the cover. Or you can hit my YouTube link, go to my playlist, and it's there too, along with shit tons of other stuff. But a good, cheap, neutral carrier oil is canola oil. For you guys overseas, it's called rapeseed oil. I don't know why it's called this. What is a canola plant? It's not. Okay, so there you go. America. So anything that I just explained you could do to moon water, you can also do to moon oil. Another good use is to pick some sort of beauty oil, like your beauty regimen, and you can set that out there too. I mean, technically, you can throw all your beauty regimen shit out there and it should work. Try it. Oils are more useful because they last longer. They have a longer shelf life, and they preserve whatever's sitting in them. I'm sure you've seen the decoratory bottles of oil that have like peppers and shit in them. So that's why I like to put out oils more, to make my different spell oils. I forgot my digital makeup. That's better. So now let's talk about some of those moon water conundrums. The first one of which breaks my heart to have to answer, because duh. Can you make moon water when it's cloudy and the moon is covered up? So I'm going to answer that question with a question. Do the tides still change when the moon is covered by the clouds? If you have to Google that answer, you do not have any business practicing witchcraft. No. Stop immediately. Can you charge, cleanse, make moon water, moon oil, do workings during an eclipse? Absolutely, yes, absolutely you can. The rumor that you can't comes from spiritual talk. Don't ever do any workings or put your crystals out during the eclipse. The energy is so chaotic. It's a disaster. Stay inside. Ma'am. That does not apply to witchcraft, okay? Oils and waters and things made during the eclipse, or when you do spells on the eclipse, are best used for necromancy or dealing with anything on the other side. So, divination, psychic medium. I used to wash my mirror with eclipse water and anoint it with an oil I made out of eclipse oil. So anything that has to do with the other side or dead people, it's perfect. Perfect. Will my moon water be okay if I forget to get up and leave it out in the sun? No. Why, you ask? So when the molecules from the sun hit that water, so the sun is much more powerful than the moon. And the UVA and the UVB rays will break some of the bonds in the water molecules. In fact, it can be so efficient at it that when concentrated, it can purify water. It even breaks down the bonds of microorganisms down to viruses. So when they go in there and shake shit up and break bonds, it just shakes and throws your moon stuff to... Now, it doesn't do that to every single molecule in your water, but depending on how long it's been out there, it's going to greatly weaken the potency of your water. So 9 times out of 10, no, your water is ruined from moon water. You now have sun water. FYI, nothing about sun water applies to oil. Can't do it, because the sun will break down the oil and it will rot and stink and not work. So, there's probably going to be some people that argue with me on this, but there is... How do I explain this? Okay. I'm going to show you some examples of what you will see that sun water is supposedly to be used for. Okay? And this is not to put any hate on any of these creators. Just let me finish, but here's some examples.
You can cleanse your crystals with it. You can anoint your third eye. The water can give your rituals and spells an energetic boost.
And once charged, sun holds positive, encouraging, and uplifting properties, rebirth, and anything ego-related. Solar water is the secret to any manifestation work. And if you want to make someone or something come to you, use sun water.
Sun water is great for fueling your defensive spells and protection magic.
So when I first saw this type of stuff, I was really confused. Not at all what I was taught. And then I researched what I was taught to find the history of it. So I decided to go deep dive into these newer correlations. I ain't found shit. Nothing earlier than like the 1970s. I even found stuff like this for the New Age stuff. So I'm going to put it up here because maybe that stuff will work for somebody. My educated guess on what happened here is quite common on Witch Talk. And it's when a novice witch sees something on Spiritual Talk and decides it's the same and pulls it over into Witch Talk. And we know how that works out. Because the correlations of the sun that you heard previously are a lot like the ones from Spiritual Talk. Having to do with like the vibrations of the sun and portals and shit. So now I'm going to get into the traditional and oldest uses and how to make sun water. So moon water affects the emotional and sun water affects the physical, which is very rare in witchcraft stuff. So it originates from the Ayurveda, 5,000 years old, so I'm sure it was older than that. And the water is charged mostly for consumption. And you put your water out 8 hours a day for 3 days. Then you bring it in and you don't refrigerate it. And you drink it. And the sun is supposed to supercharge it it does all kinds of good stuff for your body. You can just Google sun water and Ayurveda and it'll pull up all the details. So because of this, another thing that I will do is combine sun water, pau d'arco, and granite together. You can also add Epsom salt in there. But because those three, there are very few physical healing ingredients. But those three are that. So I've experimented with before. Of course, I didn't drink that. That was for when, like, Jade had a bad back or, I had a rash or something topical. I've used it for that. Okay? So I'm pretty sure that's the complete story of witchcraft and what... No, solar eclipse. I got one more. Solar eclipse. Solar eclipse water and stuff. So they're rare, but the most important one that you can get, in my opinion, is a full solar eclipse. And here's why. There are few things in the magical world, the witchcraft world, that are good at revealing that which is hidden. There's a few herbs that will help, but a full solar eclipse is the Mac Daddy of them all. It's the only time from Earth that you can see you can't, you'll be blind, but when it's a full one, that's when you get to see the coronasphere. And putting water, oils, the couple of ingredients you do use to force people to tell the truth, or things that you use to remove glamour, this is like the Mecca. The Mecca for revealing the truth, revealing what is hidden. It can also be used in necromancy if you're having a problem getting over there. It can be used if you're having a problem with psychic opening. This is the Mac Daddy. And they're rare because generally you have a partial. We do have one coming up this year on October the 14th. My entire fucking house is going to be out there. But here's the key. To get this effect, you have to cover your things until it comes complete. Then you woof them off and you wait. And the minute it starts to go to the other side, you have to cover your stuff back up. Obviously, we can't be looking at the sun. So there's always a live broadcast from NASA or one of the other agencies that shows you the real time. So you can look at that instead of burning your eyeballs out. Blind! The other thing that you can use this for is for potential energy. So a lot of the energy of the sun is being held back by the moon being in place. So if you want a spell that sneaks in undercover, and then once it's in, pow, all that potential energy is released, this is what you do. Uncover your stuff right there and leave it out until it fills out. I think that's about it about the moon. I don't think I've forgotten anything, but if I have, that's too damn bad because I'm tired.